we're going to do a little series called When You Call a Local Newsroom. So this is part one. When you call a local newsroom, maybe you have a question about programming, maybe you want to know more about the weather, you have a complaint, you didn't like a story that you saw. We are like Disneyland characters. We cannot fight back. We can, yes ma'am, yes sir. Can you tell me where you saw that? I will look into that. So go a little easy on us, because we are Goofy and Pluto and Mickey and Minnie just sitting there taking it, working our butts off to try to get the local news to you as best as we can, and listening to people yell at us, and all we can say is yes ma'am, no ma'am. Yes, I can give you to the manager. So be gentle when you call a local newsroom. Understand that we're people too, just working really hard trying to get the news, and we want to get the answer to your question. Okay, calling a newsroom part two. If you call a newsroom and you're mad, you come at us with an attitude, you are venting. If we repeat everything you say, is it raining outside? And clearly it's raining outside. We will say, are you asking if it's raining outside? We're doing that so everyone else in the room can enjoy the conversation that we're on. You might get put on speaker. You've been warned. Come at us gently. Come at us with kindness. Allow grace. We're going to do everything that we can to help you. But if you come at us yelling, screaming, asking questions that are easily available in other places, usually newsrooms are pretty short-staffed. There might be one person in the newsroom at any point answering a phone. Just be gentle if you can. And if you're mad, hey, we'll listen. But if you go full on DEFCON 2, yeah, we're gonna start repeating things so the rest of the room can hear. Okay, part 3 of calling a newsroom etiquette. If we're in the middle of severe storm coverage, snowstorm, ice storm, bomb cyclones, whatever's happening in your world, we can't get the meteorologist on the phone because they're on TV. So no, I can't go ask him that. I can barely get my question answered. Watch TV, look at our app, look at our website. We're working furiously to get that information out there, but I can't go pull the meteorologist off of TV to ask him about your neighborhood and your street and your backyard's forecast. It just doesn't work that way. Calling a local newsroom part 4. Now I can't connect you to David Muir or Ginger Z or George Stephanopoulos. They don't work here. They work in New York. I don't even know their phone numbers. Maybe tweet at them? I can't help you that. I got a complaint line to the network I can give you, but David Muir isn't sitting in a local newsroom getting ready to go on the air. No matter how seamless it looks, he's in a whole different place. I can't even get a hold of David Muir. Calling a local newsroom part 5. If you're calling to look for a story that we aired, please make sure you know what the story was about, when it aired, even if it was last Tuesday. And please don't call us with a story that your friend Barb at the salon said she thought she saw on our channel and you're not sure. Many times people will call us for stories that either aired on other channels, or they'll say, oh, it was about health. Well, we do a lot of stories about health. So try to know the specifics of what you're asking for. Generally, there's 2 to 3 people in a newsroom who are overworked and trying to answer all the phone calls. So just give us specifics of what you want. We can't just magically make stories appear, and we don't all have that instant recollection of every story that we've done, because honestly, we do about 20 stories a day. Just be specific. Calling a local newsroom, part 6. If you call a newsroom in the overnight hours, this is who you're talking to. The newsroom is approximately 42 degrees. We're wearing 12 layers of clothes. We haven't had a good night's sleep since we took this job. So please don't call the newsroom overnight unless you have a really urgent reason why. And you being drunk, not a good reason. You having insomnia, not a good reason. You wanting to talk about your philosophy on mask mandates, Not a good reason. Understand that overnight local news producers, there's generally one person in the whole newsroom, maybe two if you're lucky, until about 3 a.m. when the rest of the crew comes in, and then everyone's just really busy. So only call the newsroom in the middle of the night if it's an emergency. Thank you for listening to my PSA. Calling a local newsroom, part 7. We're still wearing our blanket and our hoodie because it's early, it's 7 a.m. We're about to end our shift as overnight workers. So don't call a newsroom and ask passive aggressive questions like, don't you guys know how to spell? We do. Do you have a bunch of morons working there? We don't. We made a mistake in a graphic and we're sorry. We don't need to be berated for this job that we're doing in the ridiculous overnight hours to bring you news. And we're going to make some mistakes. But when you call us right after a show and just start telling us how stupid we are, it really doesn't help the cause. Love to have things pointed out to us so we can get better. But, starting with, doesn't any idiot there know how to spell? Not a good way to start that conversation. Okay, calling a local newsroom, part 8. If you call a newsroom, no matter who answers, you're getting a journalist. A producer is a journalist. An editor is a journalist. Photographer is a journalist. News director is a journalist. You don't have to insist that you speak to a reporter. I can take your information. I can write it down. I'm in the same meetings that they're in. I can pitch the same ideas. But when you say, no, I need to talk to a reporter. And if there's not a reporter available, and you're negating that I am someone worth talking to, it just doesn't really set the stage for you to get your story idea investigated or told. So we can always transfer you to a reporter's voicemail, but just know anyone who answers the phone, and believe me, people avoid answering the phone. So if they're taking the time to answer the phone, they really care about what you have to say. Anyone is a journalist who answers the phone. Go ahead and share the information with them. Don't wait for a reporter. Calling a local newsroom, part 9. If you are calling us to tell us about a crime, a fire, a fight, something that's going down, and you haven't called 911 first, and call 911. That's the priority. Safety is the priority, not telling us about it. So before you call a newsroom, make sure you've taken the proper steps to alert the authorities to the incident you are telling us about. Happens more often than you might realize. Calling a local newsroom, part 10. We're at our top 10. If you call a newsroom and you're rambling on about complaint, story idea, or whatever, and if you just keep hearing, wow, yep, that means we're doing another task, maybe writing a story for the show, maybe working on graphics, maybe doing something else. It means you're getting about half of our attention. So be succinct, be prepared to give the information. And honestly, it's best to email the information so we can get names, phone numbers right. We can make sure that your communication to us is very clear. So you can explain the story to us succinctly, but we're probably going to say, can you send me an email on that? So we have all of the information right. We can copy and paste it into our assignment planner and we can pitch it. So just don't ramble on, make your point, and we'll better get to your story.